Here back for another update. Let's take a look at the total altcoin market cap over here. On the first pane, we have total DeFi. Second pane, we have total 3. And then on the third pane, we have others. So the crypto total market cap excluding the top 10. And I do think that the low is in. I think that this is the type of structure. These are the type of structures that you see before you end up having a huge advance to the upside. And these types of structures are commonly seen in the stock market, and they usually form when there's lots of money that is about to be injected into the asset class. What you tend to see is, I'll show it on this chart right here. So you have so let's say you already have your advance right here like this. This was your huge advance, and then you have a pause. And it goes into the shape of an ABC or a WXY correction like this, and then you have what's called a wall of worry. So once your last capitulation event comes in, this would be considered your selling climax. You have your automatic rally like this, your secondary test of the lows, your failed breakout of the range, your secondary test in phase B. You either sweep this low or you come down and sweep your selling climax, and then you get bought up again, and then you have your failed break number 2. So you have a failure to break out of this range for the second time, and then you have what's called a partial decline. And this partial decline, everyone thinks it's going to do this. It's going to come back down to these lows, but what it does is it actually turns up instead, right? And then you have that grind to the upside, and then you have bullish order flow from here, right? So we see something very similar happening with the altcoin sector, right? This over here is your A, B, C down. Selling climax comes in. You have your automatic rally, second test, fail break, secondary test in phase B, sweeping your selling climax right here. Then you have your second fail break, your partial decline, and then your continuation. And we see the same type of schematic happening with Total 3 and others as well. Total DeFi, others, and Total 3. But yeah, this is what we see here. Very bullish. This is usually where most investors get shaken out. This chop and grind like this, it makes people bored at the lows. And whenever you're bored at the lows, when the price is stagnant, that's the worst thing you can. That's the worst thing. That's where people make the most mistakes with their portfolio. The best thing to do right now is to just sit on your hands and wait for the next advance, because it looks like it's ready to go. We can take a look at the Russell 2000 over here. I'll show you the Russell 2000. And the Russell 2000, we called the bottom perfectly on the Russell 2000 in my Discord. We had so this over here is your established range, right over here. Okay. This is what market makers like to do. Market makers rarely use patterns. They mostly use rectangular ranges to get in on the liquidity sweeps or manipulation level. So this is your rectangular range right here. We swept the highs, and then we swept the lows with your draw on liquidity being the 200-day SMA. We had a range reclaim, a gap up, and then a push up out of the upper bounds of the range. Now it's likely we're going to see a little bit of a throwback here, a little bit of more chop before we have continuation up to eventually take out 2465 and then head towards 2700. When we go ahead and zoom out, we do see that this is just an ending diagonal, and we're already within the 5th wave, right? This was your 3rd wave. This is your 4th. And then you have an ending diagonal here. Notice how the waves are overlapping each other. So there's still a long ways to go on the Russell 2000. I do think that the 3167 to 3534 region would be our point of interest. This would be our first point of, so this is your second point of interest. This is your first point of interest right here. The 1.236, 1.382 relative to our 2021 high. Notice how we topped out here on the Russell in 2021, and then we've just been in this slow grind to the upside, right? So everything looks good so far with the altcoin market, and especially the Russell, considering we've already backtested the 200 and we're on our way up to make a new all-time high. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to let me know. Peace out and take it easy. See you in the next one.